Alright, we're going live. Alright. Hey guys, this is our first time doing one of these live. We just got out of Mother, the new Darren Aronofsky movie. Before we start, there are a couple people that I said that I would shout out. Irene D. and Catherine Lawson, who are new subscribers to the 7th Street production channel. So, thank you guys for subscribing. It's pretty dark in here.
I think it's okay.
Alright. We just saw Mother. This is gonna be a weird video. What did you think?
I mean this in the most sincere way, I guess. Almost kind of like a compliment to the director and everyone who worked on this. It's very uneasy.
They definitely got the feeling of anxiety.
I want to say I don't like it, just because it... But it's not that I don't like it, it's just batshit crazy in the most unsettling...
It's weird. This movie, like, gives you a physical reaction. I mean,
yeah.
it gives you anxiety.
If you already have anxiety, this movie you need to be like prepared.
Yeah, this movie is rough.
It's the whole time I kept thinking, God, this is a fucking introvert's nightmare.
Yeah, I mean that's what this movie is. This movie is basically just. It almost seems like he really wanted to, I think he wrote this. I mean, he writes most of the things he does, like Requiem for a Dream. I believe The Wrestler he wrote as well. And Black Swan. It almost seems like he has social anxiety, and this was his way of commenting on it. But there was a bunch of other weird... Maybe I'm too dumb for this movie. There were times where I felt too dumb.
No, it's just
for this movie.
The best way to describe it, and I'm sure this is what they're going for because there's no way to not think about this during it. The best way to describe it is it's like a nightmare. Not even a nightmare, but like, you know, a stress dream, a bad dream.
Yeah, it's definitely a stress dream.
Like when you wake up from a weird dream, you know, and it's just like, in the dream, you were confused, but yet you were rolling with it, and it's just very unsettling.
But that's not like a twist or anything. I mean, it's definitely that's not what the movie is. I mean, there's some other weird symbolism, like
I didn't
the
even
house
really
is her and she is the house, and it's something that I definitely have to think about.
It's maybe like man trying to take as much as they can get.
Right,
without appreciating things that they have.
Right, because that was the whole thing where it's like, right, the house and the main character and his work are all like, it's all the same thing. It's all a symbol for the same shit, and he like... It's never enough, so he ends up, like, destroying his career, his house, and his family, inevitably. And it all symbolizes his work, I guess? And it's like the movie ends where it begins. Just, you know, like this continuous loop, right? These characters live in this continuous loop. And I think that every character in this is obviously, it's all a metaphor, right? The only actual character in this is the guy, this writer. Right, because she is the house, she is the diamond, and the wife, she can, like, touch the walls and see the beating heartbeat of the house. She's the house, and the house and her are also a symbol for his career. It was very confusing, and I almost at times felt too dumb for it, which
No, I don't think it's that. It's just it has so much.
There's so much
vagueness
going
and
on.
God, it was just from the start. I mean,
It-
and we didn't really know what to expect. I mean, we saw the
Not at
trailer, but I
all.
mean, the trailer doesn't. If you've seen it, it's
There's no way that you can
Doesn't really give
explain
you-
this movie to somebody other than it's an ordeal to get through.
yeah.
It should have, in my opinion, I think this movie was a little over 2 hours. I think it would have been
It did feel kind of long.
it would have been much better if about half an hour was cut out of it, because there was about half an hour to 45 minutes of it, of just shit that I was like, okay, we don't need any
Yeah,
of this.
that and the camera work, which was beautiful, but at the same time, it was like
It
everything
was
was
very
through her eyes.
It was very disorienting.
So a lot of things were, and the house is like pretty much a circle, and it's all through her eyes, and it's just constantly just moving
it's all
around.
these moving shots, yeah.
And it's just, sometimes it's literally just following her for scenes, and I'm like, okay.
And it was beautiful.
Yeah.
And they were all great in this movie.
Yeah, I normally
the
actually-
cast was great.
Yeah, I
It-
normally don't like Jennifer Lawrence as much, sorry, but I just don't, and she was actually pretty
It was
phenomenal.
really fucking well done.
You hate the husband.
Yeah, what? Who is that? Who is that actor?
He's that, what's his name? Well, now I can't think of it.
Yeah.
But he's a big actor.
Yeah,
He's been
he was great.
He's been around for a while.
You know, and I love Darren Aronofsky's other films. I mean, the mainstream ones, I obviously haven't seen all of them. He's really, really good. This movie's really well done.
Yeah.
But it was a bit much. I think you said it perfect, that if you have anxiety, prepare yourself for this film, because it's definitely trying to invoke.
Gonna need a Xanax.
Yeah, and it does a really good job of making you kind of go, all right, I'm having a little bit of a panic attack with her.
There was times where I'm like, God, I just want to get up and go to the bathroom or something.
Oh yeah, especially
Even
spoiler
after.
alert, and I'm still a little. This movie did have one scene that effectively
Baby one?
shocked the fuck out of me and made me go, all right. And even like talking about it, it definitely gives you that kind of reaction of, I need to like have a cigarette. I need to have a beer. We definitely need to have a beer.
Yeah, I wish I
need
didn't
a
see that
fucking
part.
drink.
I wish I would have been in the bathroom. during
God,
part.
that was that.
And normally I don't get affected that easily.
And
with
that's
this kind of
what
stuff.
it's so funny, because before this scene, and we're just rambling right now. I know that nobody knows what the
I'm
fuck
actually
we're
very
talking
paranoid about everyone around me right now. Like,
Yeah,
after seeing this movie.
up until that point, I was like, okay, I am starting to not like this movie. This movie took me through roller coasters where I started off going, oh, this is like very artsy. This movie is basically like if someone took the style of a 70s grindhouse film and decided to make an art film with that
Yeah.
style. It had this very grindhousey feel. I mean, even to certain scenes. And so anyway, this movie starts off and I was like, I'm starting to really like this. Then it started to teeter off when she got pregnant.
Which, by the way, took forever. Halfway through the
Took
movie, I was like,
forever.
why is this even called Mother? I'm confused.
Yeah, and then she gets pregnant, and then I started checking out. I was like, okay, I am not following this at all. This
Yeah.
is like, I'm getting to this point where I just want it to fucking end. And then, big spoiler alert, baby dies and everyone eats the dead baby?
They eat the baby.
They snap its neck.
And she tries so hard to protect him.
I mean...
And it's just the most anxious. Like,
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
like this movie because of the way it makes me feel.
Yeah,
And I'm not
it's-
sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing yet. I have
Right.
to wait till tomorrow.
I need to think about this movie and see what type of
But
fucking
it made me very
dreams-
uneasy. And
It definitely made me uneasy. The last time I actually came out of a movie feeling somewhat like this, not in the same way, but was when the first time that I saw Cannibal Holocaust on the big screen at the Hollywood Theater. I went in, I was slightly stoned, watched it. It was on Halloween, I believe, or the 30th. Either way. And I remember coming away feeling a little anxious, a little uneasy. Like, what did I just see?
Yeah, this was similar to that, but in a way that I've never really experienced with a movie. Like, I honestly feel like I just had a weird-ass nightmare. Yeah. And I woke up, and you know that feeling when you first wake up and you're just like...
So, it's one of those things where... It's one of those films... And I guess it's not one of those films. I've never seen another film that has made me feel this way, where I definitely will not have any desire to ever see this movie again.
Yeah, no. At least for now, I think I'm good.
Not because it was bad. Because it was super effective in what it was trying to do. And what it's trying to do is give you a panic attack. It is trying to make you have a fucking anxiety attack.
Most people are like, oh, I love feeling, that type of way after seeing a scary movie or whatever.
Not like this.
It's different.
Not like this.
This feels really...
This was really...
I feel icky and stressed out, and the whole time when I was getting really intense, I was like, God, I can't wait to just be back in my apartment.
And, I liked the whole beginning stuff, and I liked the original... God, this movie should have just been one big... stressful event instead of breaking it up like that. I thought that was weird.
Yeah. Well, and there was a lot of things in it that I just didn't understand, and I was confused why it was in the movie. Like, it was almost sci-fi in a way with the crystal.
There were scenes that were, getting into... One of the things I was going to bring up was... I think there are things that are deliberately there to mislead you. Like the blood in the light bulb exploding. There's also the part where it's near the beginning and, the toilet starts overflowing and she, nudges this, creature in the toilet and the creature goes, whee! And goes... Again, it's just a fucking nightmare. It never comes back.
It's just a nightmare. It gives you the most weirdest stuff, and in your dream you're just like, oh, the fuck?
Right.
And you just move on. That's what she was doing the whole time. It was like...
It was one big 2-hour stress dream.
And she did such a great job of, realistically, if this happened in real life, approaching that situation.
Yeah, it could never.
Because she was
we got a comment.
She was like, what
worst
the hell?
scene. Worst scene. Well,
when the baby
dying was pretty horrific.
I mean,
second...
She's trying to protect him because, they're all in her house, all these people, and they're, ruining the entire house. It's just madness.
I guess we should give some backstory here, because we're both sort of rambling.
We didn't have a backstory when we saw it.
It's this husband and wife, and they're rebuilding their house after this horrible fire.
Which he was in, or he mentioned.
Right. And...
Which I thought they were referring to his childhood, but I was...
But anyhow, he's a writer, and people keep showing up at their house, and he keeps letting people come in, and... That's how he finishes his newest work.
He gets, fame pretty much, and people come over and they're like...
And then they think he's, Jesus.
Obsessed with him.
Right.
They're taking his ink and, wiping it on their face, and she's like, get out of my house. She thought she was just gonna have dinner with him,
And she... The lady, halfway through the movie, gets pregnant. She gives birth while all of this chaos is happening in her house, and hundreds of people are there because they worship...
And they're stomping on her, and all of a sudden there's what is that called? When the SWAT team and shit comes in.
Right, a SWAT team
and they're
shows
firing and flash bombs, and she's literally going into birth.
Right, she's going into labor, and then she gives birth, and all of a sudden all the chaos stops, and it's her and her husband, and she's like, you gotta make them leave now because I had the baby, and he's just like, can't do that.
When she turns, her character does, a complete 180. She went from this, kind of meek, okay to her husband and following orders and this very
Right.
polite person to being like this mama bear all of a sudden. And she's like, you're not touching him. And I was like, yeah, don't give your fucking husband the baby. He's crazy. He won't like make these people leave. He like is obsessed with the fame part. And
the fact that
it's
he's
just
like
insanity.
Jesus
Like
now.
she's like, you're insane. And he's just like, I don't want them to leave.
So she ends up sort of like falling asleep for a second. She wakes up and she doesn't have her baby. And her husband's out there like handing his newborn into this crowd of people who think that he's like Jesus. And she's like runs into the crowd and she's trying to get her baby back. And all of a sudden you see the baby's neck just go... Oh, yeah, I'm sure they couldn't see that. But all of a sudden you just see the baby's neck go... And the baby
it's
falls
like they're crowd surfing
limp.
the baby, and she's like, what the fuck?
And so it like pushes ahead, and she's still running through the crowd because now her baby's dead, and she gets up there, and there's this...
It's like they're a cult or something.
Right, now they're like a cult because they worship her husband, and she gets up there, and there's just like bloody goop, and she turns around, and everybody's like eating her dead baby. This
terrible.
movie was just insanity.
And it's just, it makes you on edge with all those people around her when she's like realizing what's happening, and it's just
Although
chaos.
I will say that the moment that happened, the moment that the baby died, I was like immediately like sort of, I was like snapped back into it.
No,
because,
I heard you gasp.
Because I gasped. I went...
Yeah, me too.
I couldn't fucking believe that. This movie's really well done. It's really good, obviously. I mean, the director has made some of the best movies. Requiem for a Dream, and obviously is one of them. Sorry, there's just some crazy batshit stuff happening around us, too, and we just got out of this crazy batshit movie. But
it's definitely
I think that
beautifully made and it's well acted. I would say go see it if you're.
I would say
and we are not we're pretty hard to shock.
That's the thing. I mean, horror is my thing. This is definitely not a horror.
I don't even
film.
it's not horror.
But this type of shit is sort of my thing. You know, Requiem for a Dream is sort of my thing. You know, I really like shocking cinema. This one, I recommend that everybody ought to see it once. I don't think you should see it twice. It's not a movie that I feel like anyone is going to ever go, oh, let's have a movie night. Let's watch Mother.
Yeah, I don't think I could just pop this on in my house.
Yeah,
and just
this,
like, oh.
you know, I have a very extensive movie collection, DVD collection. I don't think I'll own it on DVD. I'm sorry, we're both like looking at all these people who are leaving. It's like the same shit as the movie. This movie does a good job of making you paranoid and just feeling like, yeah, you just want to like I don't even want to talk to these people. I don't even want to make this video. I just want to like go home and have a beer.
The weirdest part to me was just like the whole, I mean, I've said this a million times during this interview, but just the dreaminess of it. Like, she's, like, walking around, and she has this, like, sink, and these, like, kids, all of a sudden, first of all, this, like, guy dies in their house who, she didn't even want there in the first place. This movie is
so confusing!
So they're, like, forced to have this, like, funeral for these people because they have nowhere else to go, and then, like, a ton of people show up, and they're, like sitting on things, like, her nice furniture, like, stuff that's, like, you know, they're like ripping the house off, and she's like, what are you doing? Stop, like, leave. And they're like, oh okay. And like then someone's like painting her house, and she's like, why are you painting? And it's just like the weirdest shit.
It really is.
And then their responses to her, it's just not, it's very weird.
The best part, actually, I think this movie starts off really, really well. I do like, because the movie just starts with, you know, the two main characters, and then this guy shows up, and he's like, oh, someone told me that this is a bed and breakfast. But what really happens is he's like this super fan of this writer, of the main character, and he's actually going there to see him before he dies because he's like got lung cancer or something.
Which is fucking weird.
Yeah, it's already got this very Misery feel to it in the beginning, and then dying guy's wife shows up. And
It's the worst.
God, that actress was great. Through the whole thing, you're just like, can someone just fucking punch this chick?
She, like, acted as if she was best friends with this chick.
Right,
Like, she's
yeah.
like the bitchiest Sex in the City, like,
Wannabe.
Carrie Miranda.
Yeah, she's like this wannabe.
And, like,
just,
she's, like, getting drunk, and she's like, here, I made you a drink. And then she's, like, getting real personal with her and talking
and then
shit about
she's
her
like-
husband doesn't love her.
And then that's who's, like, their sons show up and fight, and one of them dies.
And then the main girl, what's her name? Jennifer Lawrence, her husband, leaves her.
Right, it's
when
like,
a murderer's
oh
in
shit,
there.
there was
She's
a murder,
like, no, let
we
me
gotta
go with you at least. He's like, I have to take them to the hospital. She's like, I don't want to be here.
He's like, just lock the door.
I was like, if this motherfucker, dude. Like, it is too much. It's...
The movie was too much. It was a little too much for me. And I'm sure that now I'm gonna get shit. I'm sure that people are like my friends are gonna watch this and go, oh, well, we gotta go see it. Then they're gonna say, oh, that was nothing. But I'm telling you, if you have anxiety at all, or if you're prone to stress dreams, you will come away from this movie going, holy shit, I need a drink, I need a smoke, I need to I need to go watch like Gremlins or E.T. or something. Like I
or
cannot.
if you have OCD or you don't like a lot of people in your space and
Right,
parties
this
and things
movie
like that,
will
this movie
just
will...
fuck with you for 2 hours straight up. I mean, the visually,
Psychologically.
just like in every way, like the sounds, whenever things are getting really stressful, it's almost like they tried really hard to create the sounds of an anxiety attack.
What the hell was that powder stuff she was drinking too?
I'm thinking it's some sort of like anti-anxiety
And what time frame
medication.
was this?
Right, I was just about to say that. We have no idea who we are or when we are. We never even know the main characters'
first I was
names,
like,
do
first, no, I don't think so.
we never even know their names. We don't know who we are or when we are.
Yeah, at first I was like, oh, this takes place in like, I don't even know.
We don't even know what country we're in because
I thought it was like
Homeboy.
the 60s at first.
Yeah,
and then all
it's
of a
like
sudden I was
70s
like,
looking.
no.
But then someone has like a cell phone. I swear to God, at one point they're like, no cell reception.
Oh yeah.
So, but then they have a landline, and Homeboy, Mr. Main Character, Writer Man, has like this
The
really
worst.
thick accent. So it's like we
What's
don't
that
even
actor?
know. We don't
That
even
actor
know.
just has that. That's how he sounds.
We don't even know where we are.
What the fuck is going on?
People are
dude?
getting really fucking
Can we?
weird.
Let's just go.
This is,
This movie is great.
it's really, really well done. Shit. This was not a good review because this is not a normal fucking movie. And we almost went to the $3 theater and saw 47 Meters Down. And I
That'll be
guarantee you
next.
that if we went to the $3 theater and we saw 47 Meters Down, this would have been a much more entertaining video. But the fact that our third episode was Darren Aronofsky's Mother, this is going to be the black sheep video
Yeah.
out of the entire series. This movie was weird, man.
I don't know how I feel about it. Yet.
It was definitely good. Just because something's really well made and well done and just an overall good movie doesn't mean that I liked it. I find it's hard to like this movie. It's almost like I wouldn't compare the two at all, but it's the same thing as Stanley Kubrick's 2001: A Space Odyssey. It's like, does anyone really enjoy that film? I mean, I've only seen it a couple of times in my life because it's really hard to sit through. This is like that. It's hard to sit through. It's really good. It's almost, it kind of achieves this odd cinematic poetry almost. But it's
What is going on?
but it's fucking weird, man. Natalie's losing it
Let's
because
go home.
people are just parking and shit. Anything else? You want to say anything else?
I think that's about it.
Natalie, I must do my work. I must do my work. I can't ask them to
You better
leave.
not act like that.
I can't ask these people to leave.
If you ever invite weird, strange fans
I cannot
in our house,
ask these people to leave.
over.
Yeah, go see the movie. It's worth it. It's worth the money. All right. Take it easy, guys.
Bye.
Oh, fuck.